This afternoon, we expect the First Lady of the U.S. to be landing in the country anytime from now. We want to cross over to the JKIA, where our reporter George Maringa is currently there. We understand there has been a bit of disruption for passengers. We want to understand, if you're going to the airport now, what do you need to know? Maringa, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Jimmy. Indeed, activity is at high pitch. I'm talking about security checks and everything else that involves such trips. Remember, this is the First Lady of the United States of America, Dr. Jill Biden, that we're talking about. And she will be making her 3-day state visit to Kenya. From Namibia, she will be landing at about 5 p.m. That is the brief we have so far. The timeline was moved from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. And just to give you an overview of what happened, we've gone through massive security checks. I could count up to 5 of them. 2 through the normal JKIA checks that were very thorough this time, and then 3 with the Secret Service agents. And the outcome of it, I just want to show our viewers, is that there has been 2 badges. So the blue one, as you may be able to see, is for this visit, for any journalist that will be accessing this venue and this assignment right here. And then the red badge is for journalists who will be on the entourage with the First Lady for the 3 days that she will be in the country. This has been the outcome of the security checks here at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. Let me also give you an overview of other activity happening here at the airport. You can see sniffer dogs have been deployed, sniffing here, and they're just ensuring that everything is on check. We are at Terminal 2 of the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, the terminal that had been communicated, or rather the terminal which the Kenya Airports Authority had communicated will be closed down temporarily to facilitate the arrival of the U.S. First Lady, Dr. Jill Biden. Also on the left, preparations are underway, and I'll just let you, or rather loop you in, apart from what needs to go on behind the scenes in terms of inside the terminal. The checks are also ongoing. Right there you can see the 2 ladders are already established or put up. That's perhaps where the aircraft, that is Air Force 2, will perhaps taxi and finally come to a halt to allow the First Lady and her entourage to disembark. And that will be then happening at about 5 p.m. You can see several gentlemen right there from the Secret Service unit who are sniffing through and just ensuring that everything is on check. From here, she will be going to State House for a closed-door meeting. She will be received, let me just give you just a rough breakdown. She will be received by the First Lady of the Republic of Kenya, that is Mama Rachel Ruto, and then also accompanying the Kenya's First Lady will be the Cabinet Secretary for Foreign Affairs and Diaspora, that will be Dr. Alfred Mutua. They will be receiving the First Lady and other members of the Office of the First Lady and the government. They will then proceed to State House, but there won't be any press conference. Then from there, she will head to the U.S. Ambassador's residence to meet women, and we shall be bringing you updates of what will be happening right there, in these various steps that the U.S. First Lady, Dr. Jill Biden, will be making here as she begins her tour of Kenya, this being her 3rd trip. And this is, part of her 5th trip to Namibia and Kenya, and it will be on her remarkable 6th official solo visit to the continent as a principal of the presidential administration, but this being her first as First Lady, following 5 visits as Second Lady during the Obama administration. So Maringa, that is what is happening right here. Security checks upon security checks. I can hear you, Jimmy.
All right. Now, the question that comes to mind is, we understand the heightened security measures currently that are happening at the airport. But the question is, what is the airport operations? Have they been interrupted? All the flights that are supposed to come into Kenya, are they still on schedule, or do we have planes that have been delayed?
Jimmy, what I can confirm to you is that indeed Terminal 2 has been temporarily closed, but the other areas of the airport are going on as usual. The other terminal, Terminal 1C, 1D, 1E, the operations in those other terminals are ongoing as planned, but what has been temporarily shut down is Terminal 2, and this is the terminal in which, the First Lady will be arriving, and, this is the area that has been locked down, if you could call it, in the airport for the arrival of that First Lady. So the other areas in the airport, passengers are, arriving. We've counted several aircrafts landing and others taking off, but from and to and from the other terminals right here at JKIA. Earlier on at the cafes around the Terminal 2, the workers were actually very minimal. It's one per station compared to ordinary times where you would meet a whole contingent of staff, say at the cafes, at the areas, at various lounges. But in terms of activity, it's only Terminal 2 that has been locked down temporarily.
All right. Now, Maringa, from our understanding of what happens at Terminal 2, this is one of the busiest terminals at JKIA, apart from Terminal 1A. Now, do you have an idea where the planes that normally would terminate their trips at Terminal 2, where have they been taken or diverted to at the moment?
The diversion, Jimmy, I'm going to be quick because in the next 1 minute we have a brief from the embassy and also from the other officials. But we do not know where specifically the other aircrafts have been detoured to or rerouted to, but it should be in the other terminals. The Kenya Airports Authority did not give us the specifics of where, the terminals, or rather the terminals in which they have, detoured. But they did confide that individual passengers have been notified. Those who had flights today have been notified of either the detour to different terminals. So that was made individually to the passengers because they are the ones who will be traveling, or rather who have been detoured from this Terminal 2 where the US First Lady will be arriving.
All right, thank you very much, Maringa. And of course, we'll be looking forward to your reporting this evening just to be able to understand what is the